excited to have you here today. I'm so excited to hear about your experience yesterday with your first, public speaking. And so, share with me.
Yeah, it was a great experience, and like a week ago, I thought, oh, I will not be able to sleep, and I will be, all over the place. But no, I wasn't. I slept very well, and in the morning when I woke up, I felt this joy in my heart, and I was just singing and dancing all morning. And when I sat down to meditate, and when I was really peaceful, I heard this voice in my heart that said, and it said in French, enfin, finally, finally. So what took you so long? That was the question. What took you so long? You should have done this ages ago. And well, I'm here now, and I'm happy about it being here. And it was a great experience.
And how that voice felt to you? How is it? It felt like something you were familiar with, something you were looking for, something you were expecting, something you were ready to hear. I'm very curious about that voice experience. Enfin, oui.
Enfin, it was like enfin. It was so strong. I would say it's a voice I was looking for. It was not familiar to me, but it's a voice that I knew before, but it was not in my awareness. So it's probably something that I found again, or something that I was able to connect to again that I had lost in the past. Yes.
And how does it feel?
I wish I could communicate all the time with this voice. That would be great.
And why do you feel that it will be? I wish I could communicate with that voice all the time.
Like having this first speech is really like tapping into this 50-year plan we made,
mm-hmm.
and I can sense the connection to that plan. Attracting what's in all these mantras, and while I'm talking to you now, I have this idea coming that this is the voice that will guide me in the next 50 years to move forward with my business.
And how that feels. I'm so excited. And it took. And do you remember how long it took you to make that 50-year plan?
About 3 months. About 3 months. Yes. But when I made it, the day I sat down was the day before we had our session. I sat down and it was written in like 10 minutes. So I don't know how, I'm not aware how this works in my head, because I was not aware that I was really thinking about it or planning it somewhere. I know it's happening, but I don't have access to it. But then when I sit down and I write it, it's coming, it's there. My fingers are just writing all by themselves. And I'm not very clear about what's happening exactly to get to that point.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's sort of a gestation period, it would be nice to have it in 5 minutes rather than 3 months.
Okay, so just because we're on video, and just in case, and we decided to share that experience, would you like to share a little where that 50 years program plan came from, where that came from?
It was homework you gave me like in January, end of January, I guess, and when you first at the end of our session, you give me my homework, and I was like, nope. I don't want to hear that. And then it was a whole process, you know, and you helped me that, you know, I just shut down, and then we were talking about finding a role model, and I said, well, I don't have any, you know, I don't want to be like this old lady who went to see Obama, you know, who couldn't walk anymore and all that. And we were analyzing, you know, how was my mother when she was my age, and my grandmother, and while I was analyzing their behavior, you know, we found out that it's all in my head. So if I decide to grow older, then I will. But if I decide to rejuvenate every day, then I will. And I found that really inspiring, and I really want to rejuvenate every day. So that's what I'm doing. I'm rejuvenating every day. And by doing so, I'm happy to go on for another 50 years to have my thriving business.
So in other words, what you're saying is that you were not looking to extend your life experience because you didn't expect it to be joyful. However, when you understood that actually you can program that from now on, okay, the way you want, and it's actually going to manifest itself. Okay, you had that proof that it can actually manifest. This is where you were willing to to go on that plan.
Yes.
And how does it feel now?
I'm using it every day now, you know, and it's really building up the momentum. It's building up the energy to move forward, and there is so much going on. Like I go like, it's Monday, it's Friday, it's Monday, it's Friday, and it's go. I'm on the on the left lane of, you know, where you
Yes.
overtake everyone.
Yeah, you're on the speed lane.
On the speed line. Thank you. Yes. I'm on the speed line.
On the Autobahn now.
Yes.
Unstoppable.
Yeah. And on Saturday, I will go to the workshop with Byron Katie.
Oh my God.
Saturday. Yes.
Yeah, that's wonderful. I was taking her workshop live back in the days in Jerusalem, so I definitely saw her live. You know, I think maybe 15 years ago, and she's just an amazing experience. So I'm very so really congratulations for you. Mm-hmm. So I would like to ask you. You know, now that you where have you been when we started the work together, and where you are now? When we were starting together, just describe who you were, you know, for those of you who's just watching this video first time. Who were you? Were you, you know, if you're willing to, you know, to share a bit about your background.
So
what was the job you were doing? What was your background at that time?
So my background was that I was a government employee, completely frustrated and burnt out. I had lost my voice in my marriage, in an abusive marriage. My daughter had left the country to live overseas with her partner and the baby. And I was in a very dark place because I didn't see any potential in my future, and I didn't see why this life should go on. There was like no joy. There was, it was a very dark place, basically, a very dark place.
So, you know, in other words, would you say that it was in a place that the future looked as kind of a future you didn't want to experience?
No, I didn't want to experience it, and I said to myself, you know, what's the reason that I should live on? I was not in a point of committing suicide, not an active suicide, but with the knowledge now, I know that if I would have continued in this thinking, I would have manifested some sort of a disease that would have killed me in no time.
So you know, so So in other words, is that type of experience explained to you why some people are just, you know, cutting their life short, you know, or they have shortened experience, or they get cancer by the age of 40 or 50 or 60, you know, just around their retirement, you know, they're just something happened and they get a heart attack or something like that, or, you know, or they manifest some kind of a.
And you know, we were talking about my ancestors, and we spoke about my mother, who at 75 decided to grow old, and then she manifested this thing in her knee, and now it's difficult for her to walk, and she can't bend her knee properly, and it's, you know, she can't change directions easily, and it's so symbolic in her life, you know, what she does, and now she's no longer willing to change. She has taken this decision, you know, 75, I'm old now, and now she will just sort of this. Every time I see her disappear. She is disappearing slowly. I don't think she will manifest some diseases, but she will just go to sleep and never wake up again. So I have an example really close to see what happens if you're not aware of your thinking pattern and your beliefs.
Okay, so are you ready to describe the process that you were going? Because we actually worked over a year.
Yes.
We took
Yes,
a year work.
it's 18 months now.
Yeah.
18 months, and I think it's just about a year that we do the one-to-one. Before it was on workshops and maybe a couple of energy reading sessions or one healing session. The very first session I remember very well when I was in this, I was like this. No voice. No voice. Sorry. It was awful. It was awful. And I had so much pity for myself. You know, I was indulging in this pity. And what I think happened in this very first session was that you were able to reconnect me to myself, to my inner self. I was like, I don't know where I was. I think that was the shot to start to start moving, to be connected to myself again.
And how was the entire year process that we were working one-on-one? How did you describe that journey that we did together?
So we were the first couple of months we were meeting at the workshops, the 30 days accelerator, where we were where I was gaining a lot of clarity about my motivation, a lot of clarity about the way I take decisions, the way the responsibility thing was a big issue, to find out that I took over responsibility for the rest of the world, but not for myself. That was a huge eye-opener, And at the same time, it's the subject of my first speech and my first workshop. So, and from that on, from the moment I was getting clear about the responsibility that I had towards myself, I was really able to sort out a lot of things that don't belong to me anymore, that I kept in my life, but they didn't belong to me. And that was a very, very relieving experience. And we added to the workshops and to the talking, we added the energy work, because now I can say, you know, we can work on subjects intellectually, but having the energy of those experiencing still sticking in my body and in my aura was, you know, really holding me back. So we started to work on releasing energy. At the beginning, you did it for me, but as we kept working together, you showed me how to do it by myself, and I use this exercise every day. And after, you know, all these months, there is still more and more and more to be released. Sometimes it's old, but sometimes it's also new. So yeah, that was.
And how does it feel to you that now you have tools to work with your energy all by yourself? Do you feel that by you being able to have those tools to work all by yourself, you feel that, you know, you feel that now the progress that you're making actually enables you to come to the place that you can, you know, you can hear that voice, you can communicate with the tree, you can do things that were completely out of out of your imagination, that it's possible for you?
Yes, certainly it was out of my imagination, and it was, even when I thought about it, you know, it was a very scary thought, you know, like I'm losing my mind, sort of thing. I was really scared of it, and while we were working, I was starting to build up trust, you know, trusting my intuition, and now I feel that I'm in a position of empowerment. I feel very empowered. Like with the speech yesterday, I was there and I said, "Oh, what's the saying? I don't know the saying in English, but in German it's Ich habe das Heft in der Hand." So this is my book, you know, and I'm going to rock this audience, and I'm going to guide these guys, you know.
I'm going to ownership.
And I'm going to be the leader. I'm going to be the leader of that group. Okay.
So you owned it. You had the feeling of owning it.
Yes, I owned it. I took over ownership, leadership, you know, and and that was something that felt really good, and I was very happy about it. And to me, a very important shift in my awareness is that before I was a leader, but it was a powerful leadership, and the power was not a healthy power. It was, I would say, it's sort of an abusive power, you know, and this, it's the word was superiority, and this has completely disappeared in my awareness. The feeling of being superior to someone else has left my experience, and that was, you know, it brought me to a level of a completely different communication with, like, I have a neighbor couple, an old sick couple, you know, no one wants to talk to them because all they do is talk about their health issues, and I asked them for coffee, and I was able to guide them away from any attempt to talk about their issues. And we had a wonderful time. And when they left, I said, thank you, you know, thank you, because I knew I had brought the joy to them. So yeah, I think I lost my I lost the red thread, sorry.
The red what?
The red thread that guides us to.
Okay. So if I hear you right, you said that you felt before you felt that some kind of superiority that was destructive and actually, you know, used in an abusive way against you. it was a lot. It was, how to say, it would be something that came from your ego and was actually being pampered into your ego, but in a way that was just there to abuse you, and finally felt so destructive that it was just consuming itself. And now you feel, you don't feel superior, you feel in a place of ownership, and a place of natural leadership that sprouts from within you out of joy. You feel that you own a situation, that so actually you were able to move from a place of a dead end to a place of open, endless, infinite road.
Yes, yes. Huge expansion, a huge expansion.
Yeah, from a place of and the thing is that you were not at that time, that when you were in this dark place within yourself, thinking, what's the point of having that experience if it's not going to be fun anymore, which I believe so many people are experiencing that in so different stages in their life. It doesn't have to, you don't have to go to the age of 58 to find it, or the age of 40 to find it. Some people find it by the age of 17 or 18 or 20 even. They say, okay, I don't like this, it doesn't feel nice to me, so all those hustle and bustle start to attack them, or to show up to them, and how the idea of becoming a public speaker and a coach came to you, how that started to manifest within you as a vision which is true to you too.
I think the seed was when I came to New York, and I stood on, I lived in Manhattan. No, I lived in Brooklyn, and I was on my way to Manhattan. I walked all the way over the bridge, and when I stood on this bridge, I was so emotionally touched, that I got there all by myself, and that actually I was able to manifest it, and I was so emotionally touched, and I said, I honor my journey and all the struggle that I had that brought me here, and I'm looking into a new future, and I really wish to share that with other people, to encourage them to move forward into the joy and into the new opportunities. And standing on this bridge, walking up, and then on top you see, all the way you have to go into Manhattan, and it's like leaving the old world behind and going into a new world, or the old life behind, and moving into the new life.
So that was a breakthrough point for you in your awareness.
Yes. And I think that's where the seed was, that I really wanted, I had this urge to share that and to encourage others to walk on that path.
Mm-hmm. Okay. The way, one of the things that we were working is about where you, Esther, in your experience, actually are holding a key, okay, to other women or other people to understand abusive patterns in the relationships, okay, and when we're talking about it, it's like, oh, can I do this? Can I do this? Do I really have it? And it seems to me like when you were on that bridge, and we had our one day intensive, just after, it just, the experience of walking on the bridge actually, formed that seed, within you. It's just like all brought together into. And even the idea of coming here to the United States was something that we had to push a little into.
Yes, we were working on that on a session, and I wasn't sure, was I really ready to do that, or did I need more time, because I need so much time to process things. And yes, but we did it. We got to the point where the ticket was bought, and accommodation was reserved and everything, and I came to the point where I said, okay, I'm going to honor my past life. and I'm going to let it go in peace, be completely in peace with everything that happened, and move over this bridge to the new life that's going to start and going into a new direction of happiness and joy and fulfillment and serving. And yeah, that's where the seed started. Yeah.
And how was the experience of the one day intensive that we had in New York? It was it was an incredible experience. I to me too.
Yeah, it was. There was some resistance from my side from the very beginning, and I had this resistance, and I had some expectations. I can't even remember what it was because it's so long.
You wanted to write things.
Oh yes, exactly. I needed to write down everything. That was my issue, and oh, we had a wonderful day. We had a wonderful day, and even the day we were supposed to meet, when I got up in the morning, I was still like, and then I said, okay, let's go, and I went to the center where I was supposed to meet you, and your bus arrived, and I saw you coming out, stepping out of the bus, and when I saw you there in person, all of it disappeared, It was just, my heart was just opening. It was just like seeing a soulmate that I haven't seen in so long, and it was a wonderful meeting, and we had a lot of fun all through the day, didn't we? Rainbows where there was no rain, and the, how you call that, the seats in the restaurants were ready, and the Pope stepped by, came to say hello to us. And the doves announced the Pope to come, and it was just one miracle after the other.
Yeah, it was even for me, even for me, it was like such a divine intervention. Everything that happened that day seems to be such a divine intervention. It was like unbelievable. I was holding that energy myself too until the day before, because we met on Friday. And then, on Thursday I said to myself, Revital, come on, just do it. So I realized, when I planned the route that we had to go together. All of a sudden, and when I saw the route, I said that actually everything is in 20 minutes walking from each other. Mm-hmm. Everything, and then when we met and we started to move towards that, we just realized that we were just on the path of the Pope.
Yeah, that's right.
And everybody was waiting, and it was such a festive day in New York, and everybody was so fast. Everyone was so festive, and it was like, and it was like both of us have been welcome at the same time with such a huge event when the new Pope is coming and the entire city is waiting, and we were just on the same route. And when we were just planning to go to the garden, it was just the time that the Pope's supposed to be there, so we were synchronizing with big events that was happening that day, yeah. And then we wanted we had to final on that, Marie Beth Cafe, and Sarah Beth Cafe, which is just in front, and then we realized that we got the best seats in the world where the Pope was there, It was like, then we realized that we actually aligned with very big, events on the global level, even our own, and all of a sudden we look up. I don't know how we crossed the street, and I was looking up just like that. I don't know why, and then I see this rainbow out of nowhere, and like, okay.
It's a rainbow, but there is no rain. We don't know where it comes from.
Yeah, out of the blue, there was rainbow, and we took those pictures and everything, and the doves, and so it was like it was the kind of feeling that actually, the universe is following us, and it was so tangible. It was just you couldn't just shake it.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And it made me aware, that I take very many things for granted, because when I'm traveling, that's what happens to me all the time. Like I take it for granted because for all my life it has been this way. When I travel, and I didn't have it in my conscious that it's, you know, it's just an ongoing one gift after the next that the universe is offering me. And when I realized that, I was a bit ashamed, and being ashamed helped me, you know, to grow my awareness of seeing all these miracles that happen to us every day. Yeah, and so the gratitude came in even more. Yes.
Yeah. Sometimes it's just sometimes the learning is to realize that whatever we take for granted is completely nothing to take for granted. You know, it's just,
Yes.
yeah.
I have been blessed with so many, you know, unbelievable travel experiences that to me it felt so normal that I sort of lost the preciousness in it.
Yeah. So how would you describe your entire journey of where you have been and where you are now? You know, with our work together. How would you describe it? Is this something, you know, who would you recommend it for? Who do you think is going to enjoy this type of experience?
Um, every person who has some aspects in their life where they feel frustrated, you know, and unfulfilled, or don't see any positive or joyful outcome in the future. So if you look at an aspect of your life, whether it's job or relationship or health or wealth or connection with yourself, you know, if you are aware that there is some issues that stops you from going further, then I think it's time to start working with it.
Hmm. Would you say that, you know, would you say that somebody has to wait until they need a miracle to ask for a miracle? Would you say that people have to find themselves, with, completely with their head back into the wall just to feel that they have to move to the next level? Or would you just say that, you don't have to stuck and, to ask for a progress?
Well, now I would say, you know, um, start working. No, I want to put it this way. The old paradigm would be, I learn when I suffer, you know, but I can leave that paradigm behind, because I can learn without waiting that I get to the point where I suffer. Okay, I'm just learning every day. I'm
Right.
just constantly learning every day in order to avoid the suffering,
Right.
in order
So
to avoid, in order to be ahead of the suffering, you know?
to catch up, not, just to catch up, because yeah, because one of the things that I constantly see, that it's easier to make a progress when you are not, you're not with your back to the, back to the wall. That it's easier to make a progress when you're not in the point of suffering. Okay, you're not in the point of struggling. You're not in the point of half dead, just to, not to go to the emergency room. Don't wait until you have to go to the emergency room just to make a progress. This is exactly where I'm saying that progress is not a cure, it's a lifestyle.
That's right. Yes. Yeah, that's definitely right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, so is there anything that you would like to share with us, as a last comment?
Yes, I would like to share that, you know, the word thriving always intrigued me. But I have my journal, you know, I do my journal every day. And actually this week I was able to write that I'm thriving.
Woo!
I'm finally thriving.
And what would you say? Last question. What would you say about the investment? How was the a lot of people are really afraid of the huge investment, so to say, when it comes to the one-on-one coaching. How would you describe that experience to you? How was it to you to begin with? How did you feel about the idea of investing, such a significant amount, so to say, on your on your one-on-one coaching? Was it worth it? Would you do it again?
Oh, there is no doubt about that. It was a process. You get the offer and you think about it, and then I was in a very fortunate position that the money was available. It was in my account, so it was just a decision in my worth, spending that money on my recovery and on my journey. And all the things I've learned, like every single session is worth more than the whole amount that I have paid for the, I don't know, 12 or 12 sessions we have had. Even one session would be worth the money, because it's different. What I have been learning, it's not possible to recompensate that with dollars, because the personal growth is something, and the joy that I'm living today and the happiness is something that money can't buy. So I'm completely at ease with the amount of money that I paid, and what I have received in these last 12 months is 1,000 times what I have paid. 1,000 times worth of what I have paid.
Thank you. When it comes to the idea that to invest within yourself, actually, I'm thinking to myself, is there any hospital in the world that can give you your life back just like that, without no surgery, with no chemicals, with no with no hospitalization days, without medical bills that you're going to haunt you for the rest of your life, without the physical burden? Is there any process in the world that actually can enable you to extend your life and rejuvenate in that level, for such an investment?
Yes. It is. The journey is really incredible. The journey we have gone together was an amazing journey.
Okay, so this is so it has been incredible time for me. I'm always excited wherever we are going on a session together, whether it's online, whether it's offline. I'm so excited every time I'm watching you making a progress. I'm like, oh my God, it's like your professional pictures are just incredible. Your new Facebook page is just unbelievable. You just it's like really blowing a full grown up butterfly out of a cocoon. It's like all the stages of moving from being a caterpillar, into a cocoon, and then into a full blown away butterfly. That's that's something that in person I sometimes everyone says, okay, I can die now. I can die. I can die. I can die now. I'm done.
I had someone recently that I haven't seen in like, I don't know, 10 years or 15 years. And this person came to me and she said, is this really you, Esther? Like, you look younger than you looked when I met you 20 years ago. And I went like, oh, they notice.
So everybody can see that as well.
Yes, everybody can see well. Those who want to see it, of course.
Okay, so I really I love that experience. I really enjoy talking to you every time we celebrate our time together, and I'm going to see you next time.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.